All right, so getting dropped off here at the Uwharrie National Forest. I got a little hike scheduled here with the Old Man Hiking Club. Got invited to come along with them. It's a hiking group that's been together for a while. All right, Saturday, February 17th. All right, and out here at the Uwharrie National Forest. Got a nice little hike going. So this is the OMHC, which stands for Old Man Hiking Club. So that's perfect. That's perfect for OG. So yeah, got invited to come out here. So we got Joel, Al, and Pat, and we're gonna do about 14 miles today, and then about 6 miles or so tomorrow. So a little cool out here today, but it's not raining. So we're ready. Y'all ready?
Ready.
All right. Hike on.
You know what we say? Let's go. So just about a mile or so in, just kind of getting my legs going, just kind of cruising along. There's not a lot of elevation on this hike. I think it's gonna be more kind of just a walk through the woods, but and there's nothing wrong with a walk through the woods and a night out in my tent. So anyway, just wanted to kind of show you what the trail looked like, kind of set the expectation that probably not going to be a lot of views on this hike, but anyway, maybe I'll talk a little bit about some of the new gear I've got. So I'll show you the trail. Just kind of nice. Trail goes that way. Let's go. All right, I just summited Dennis Mountain. I think it's one of the highest peaks on this little trail, and I think it's about 800 feet. So not very high up, not a lot of elevation. But anyway, crossing the 4 mile marker, having a good time. It's a nice trail. It's quick, moving quick, but it's pretty out here. It's nice day, nice little breeze. I'm gonna do some on-trail reviews. So I'm gonna talk about my new topos that I'm wearing, and I'll tell you whether I like them or not. So I got them for Christmas and wore them on the Foothills Trail. So this is kind of the second hike that I've worn them. So if you followed me on my AT through hike, you know that I wore the Topo Ultra Venture 2s, and then that's what I started out in, and then when the freeze came out, I switched over to those when I needed a replacement pair. So then I wore the Ultra Venture 3s the whole rest of the hike, and I absolutely loved them. Great shoes, very comfortable, a lot of cushion, which is what I liked. But I switched over to these Traverse, which are the new Topo model, and they're kind of marketed as a through hiking shoe. So the main difference is they don't have as much cushion as the Ultra Venture 3, and they have a rock plate in the forefoot, which is supposed to give you, protection from rocks and roots and pokey objects. So I thought I was going to really like that feature, but to me, the rock plate makes the trail less responsive. I can't feel the trail as much. So the rock plate kind of sort of deadens the feel of the trail, and because of that, I make a lot of missteps. And it's also really unforgiving. Like if you kind of step, or for me anyway, if I step down wrong on kind of a tilted rock or something, sometimes I almost feel like I'll fall over. And to be honest, I've actually tripped and fell a few times in these shoes for no particular reason. And I think it has to do with the rock plate being too stiff underfoot. And my foot is used to kind of like, I don't know, molding to uneven surfaces. And the rock plate kind of like kicks me off. I hope that makes sense. Anyway, I fell a few times on the foothills trail, just kind of random stupid falls. And I actually just fell right back there, just on a stupid rock. And it was just because, I don't know, my foot just didn't mold around it right, and I just kind of lost my balance. Anyway, so they're not my favorite because of that reason. They're still topos, so they've got the wide toe box. They've still got a decent amount of cushion in them, but the rock plate and the lack of trail feel is just a no-go for me. So my plan is to hike in these for a while, and then eventually switch back over to the Ultra Ventures. I just like the way they feel better. They just fit me better. It's what I know, it's what I like. But here, I'll get a shot of them. So I mentioned I took a little tumble because, and I'm blaming the shoes, not that I'm out of shape. I just looked down and noticed this, so it's kind of unfortunate. I'll get that cleaned up. All right, this is Crystal's place. About, I don't know, 2/10 off the trail, down a little yellow blaze. Yeah, good looking shelter. Little trail log. I just came down here to grab some lunch. There's a picnic table right around the corner. So I'm gonna eat. All right, I just crossed over that road right over there, Highway 109, and came over here, checked out the little map, and the trail goes that way. So I'm gonna get my feet moving. Let's go. All right, packed up, had breakfast. About 8:30 on day 2. Slept in this morning. I slept great last night. It was kind of cold at first, but once I finally got warm, I was warm all night. Coming up on the mile 15 sign. So, I don't know, just a few more miles in this morning to get to the car. So, this has been a nice hike. But it's basically a walk in the woods. A little bit of ups and downs, but relatively flat. I mean, not a lot of elevation. But it was cold last night. It got down to, I think, low 20s. But I got to wear my down booties, kept my feet warm. I did sleep with my puffer jacket and a hat on, but yeah, I was fine. Slept all the way through the night. Woke up about 5:30, had a little pit stop, and then went back in. I was gonna go ahead and start making my coffee and my breakfast, but I was like, well, I'll just lay here for a minute. Next thing I knew, I was waking up and it was like 7 o'clock. which is definitely late for me. So ate my breakfast, made my coffee, and got moving. So the rest of the OMHC was kind of taking a leisurely breakfast, but it was cold, so I wanted to get moving. So anyway, I'm headed to the car, and after that, going to get Mexican. So I just crossed over that little Forest Service road right over there. Came up here. Here's the trail sign. Uwharrie. I think it's funny it says more difficult, which that's kind of debatable. But anyway, here's the sign, north, south. So jumping off Rock Trailhead is 2 miles, and I guess that's where I'm going. I'm not exactly sure. But anyway, I'm gonna hike till I see the car. So, trail's going this way. Let's go. So this is the top of Dark Mountain. So I think this is pretty much it for a view, but it's nice. So yeah, headed this way. All right, made it back to the trailhead, and thankfully Joel gave me his keys because it's kind of chilly out here, and I think I'm gonna get in the car and fire it up. I'm also kind of getting hungry, so a tradition with the OMHC, Old Man Hiking Club, is to go eat at a Mexican restaurant when they get done, and man, I'm all for it. I hike for food, so yeah, it was a nice little hike. It felt good. Definitely felt good to be back out in the woods. It wasn't very challenging, but it was pretty. Not a lot of views, but you know, it was a nice walk in the woods. That's basically how I would frame it. Good company, good people, and yeah, just good to be out here in the woods and moving. So anyway, I'll show you my food when I get there.